Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our campaign is entitled A Time to Harvest. It was written by Brian Simmons, Charles P. Zaglanis, Glenn Owen Barras, and Mike Mason, and it's available on the Chaosium website. Jeff Wilkins is our game master, and this is Chapter 1, Episode 10. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Jeff?
Thank you, Tom. Just thought of something at the last second, and now I'm looking, which means I'm not going to find it. So, yes. So let's see. Little recap. Last 2 weeks ago, you guys pretty much had just survived, I guess is a good word for it. Quite an eventful morning, where the day started off by discovering the bones in the flower bed. That led to a lot of confusion and upset. Jimmy was there, the husband. He was upset. But as that was unfolding, Jasper was getting some sort of communications, messages that led you all, well, him first, and then you all tended to follow, back into the woods further, where you discovered a gruesome scene of the missing student, John Jeffries, where he was fused into a rock. And then he communicated that the missing girl was fairly close by in a cabin where you guys faced off against her captives, which best described were demon-like, I guess. And then, on the way back, you encountered another strange creature on the path, which you dispatched that as well. You got back to the house. Everybody was still kind of milling about. The sheriff, the deputy, the doctor were there. You turned the girl over to the doctor. And then we played out a scene where instead of just calling it a day, you guys headed off into the town. Actually, first you went into the woods with the geology group. Actually, everybody went. And you discovered the Indian mound, some sort of a burial. Can I just ask, I just want to clarify, do you guys remember? I think I had hinted that you probably should stop digging because you weren't really like anthropologists.
Yeah.
And you weren't really prepared for it. So is that correct, that we kind of like, you discovered it and realized what was there, and then just kind of like, you know, we'll mark it, we'll figure it out, and we'll come back later with either the proper people or alert the proper people.
Right.
Okay. Then that's sort of my prodding. I encourage you guys to visit the schoolhouse. And we had a series of failed rolls. But Tug pulled off a couple sneak or sleight of hand?
Yeah.
And managed to grab a couple papers off of her desk. And I think that's kind of where we ended. Is that?
No, we all came back to the camp.
Weren't we going to have like a party?
For a party, yeah. What's his name met us there and said that he had planned a party.
Yeah, so Blaine, I think he realized that with all that's happened on this trip, it's been fairly successful. You know, you guys have gathered quite a bit from the folklore. The geology group, maybe not so much, although you did discover the one unusual rock. So that could definitely be something that would count as, you know, that would make the trip considered a success. And that, plus on top of that, the Indian burial ground. But that's not really geology, but there's a connection. So Blaine was sort of like, you know, let's kind of wrap this up. Let's have a party tonight. Let's relax. He mentioned that he went into town. He got some food. He's going to cook a dinner for everybody. I believe he also has some beverages that perhaps he will spike the punch a little bit. So feel free to imbibe. And Yeah, I guess I was curious, Tug, did you share those papers with anybody, or did you just pocket those and move on?
I pocketed them, and knowing my character, he's kind of forgot. He might remember afterward sitting at the party.
Okay. So let's just have let me, before I move out of the town, is there anything else you guys want to do while you're in the town, or do you just want to head back now? We'll say it's like around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Well, Tug feels kind of beat. I think he kind of said that at the end.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to just sitting and eating and drinking. So he's kind of out of it.
Okay.
Unless somebody else wants to do something.
I'm hungry as well.
All right.
Let's
So
head back.
Yep. We'll head back to the house. All the other students are there. There's a little bit of a buzz, a little excitement, because it's like, the Blaine's sort of relaxing the reins a little bit. So everybody's looking forward to having a good time. I think it was Lewis, who's the musician. So he was able to find a guitar somewhere. So he's going to play some songs.
Okay.
I think, didn't you post recently, Mick, a video of like the 20s where they were doing some sort of like a line dance or something?
The conga?
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun,
Remember
dun.
that?
The varsity drag.
Varsity Drag, that's it.
Mm.
That was
The varsity drag.
Obviously too, just so everybody, Wayne's not with us for the game tonight, and his schedule changed, so he might not be returning, although it's still up in the air, so he may be back. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll see him again. But so what I'll do is I'll sort of take control of his character for now, and then we'll have her appear or not appear depending on what's happening.
Okay.
So yeah, so
So if things start to get going.
Yep.
I'm sitting there. Hey, Jerry. When we were in that schoolroom, I saw a couple of kind of weird things. They're not that weird, but they're kind of weird. Here, look. I pull out the one weird picture. That was some kid did that and was laying on her desk, kind of under some papers. What do you think that is? Does not look like big storm or something is killing people?
Well, it looks like a lot of injured children anyway.
Don't they lock up little kids that draw things like this? And then there was this.
I don't know, Tugga. I don't think they lock children up for what they draw.
Well, I don't know, but then I also found this, and it just sounds like a church thing. Isn't that like a church thing? Jesus loves me. Yes, I know. Except they put mother in there.
Yeah, that was creepy as heck.
Yeah, look at this.
This looks like some kind of witch cult.
Well, I don't know what the others are.
Really?
Well, mothers and brothers, it rhymes, and others.
No,
I think maybe we could hazard a pretty fair guess by now.
Well, I don't know. It could just be that the kid put mother instead of Jesus.
That would be most
very deliberately
unusual.
Capitalized those O's, haven't they?
And the M as well.
Well, I don't know. It's a little weird. But she seemed like an okay teacher, huh?
Yeah, she didn't seem anything out of the ordinary.
Apart from she was really good looking.
You mean she wasn't obviously sporting horns and hooves?
Well, I mean, she just looked like a school teacher.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that we're getting way deep into the folklore stuff. This might all be in our imagination so far, except for those little things that live out in the woods. We saw those.
And the other things.
Yeah, I don't like to think about the other things. There were some pretty freaky things. You think we
See
all
what
got
I mean?
drugged?
We already know what others stands for. It's easy to say it even in casual speech.
Well, I'm going to be glad to get back. I haven't rowed in days. I got to get back to rowing.
I'd just like to sleep in a proper bed.
Yeah.
You know, now that we found these, I'm actually sorry we're leaving. This is the first thing we found that actually looks like it might make some kind of sense.
Oh, Jerry, you can stay as long as you want.
I won't be sad to go. This whole place gives me the creeps.
Me too.
It's been nothing but just weird and horrible nonsense since the moment we got here.
And where did Blaine get all this pizza from?
Pizza. Did they have pizza in the 20s?
Yeah, I put it back there. I think so.
That's the time traveling connection.
Well, yes, it is
time travel. Well, you guys are crazy.
Yes, this is a most uncommon food. Perhaps.
It says here on my smartphone from the future, time travel is completely impossible.
He's a witch. So we start getting a little bit lighthearted in all this, even though we didn't say what we just said. But
yeah,
it's. I guess we're going to try to laugh it off. This has been crazy. I almost swear that some of this has been staged for us.
Tug, do you mind if I take another look at those?
Yeah, take them. Do you want me to put them back up on the screen?
Actually, that was a pretext for Jerry, who I hope is sufficiently sober to put them in a secure place, since Tug doesn't seem to be taking them seriously.
Yeah, you can have them. I don't care. Thanks,
Tug. I think it might be worth showing these to one of the European folklorists. Maybe this reminds me very much of, well, witches.
Tell them that we're drawn by an American Indian. It'll be in the folklore department. It's probably just some kid.
Well, of course it was drawn by a kid, Tug, but weren't we already speculating that the people in this town knew more about what was out there than they were saying?
But
do you think there really are things like that, like sort of hereditary witchcraft traditions handed down? I always thought, like, when I've read about that, they seem to be more just sort of people who've made up some stuff, and they're just trying to add credibility to it.
Well, in this case, whatever they've made up seems to have added its own credibility, or maybe it's just a natural response to whatever it is. You know, maybe it's not some kind of transmission. Maybe it's just the way people react when whatever these things are get hold of them.
You know, thinking about these things makes my head hurt.
But what if stuff like this goes on all the time, and we've just never been told about it?
Well, that does.
But there must be people who do know about it.
Well, we found it, didn't we? Look at that doorway into those other places we found up in the clearing.
Oh yes, so now we can be sure there are people who know about it. Us.
So, yeah. And so other people find that, then maybe they develop their myth around about it. I mean, for goodness sake, I shot those demons.
And what about John Jeffries? Something had fiddled with his brain, and something had put him halfway into a rock.
Well, the boundary between... Well, I don't think there is any boundary between magic and science anymore.
How many other places?
Sorry, go ahead.
How many other places like this are there, though, guys? You know, I mean, this area. I've been reading in a little travel book about all sorts of strange locations, and there's places out there that are just really weird. I went up to Kingsport once, and I had a really strange night up there.
Well, between these mounds and whatever, they're all over the central regions. Of course, we know in Europe there are stone circles and all manner of sites long associated with witchcraft and demonology, and for that matter, all manner of secret societies who claim to make some use of them. Now, I suppose the greater part of it is nonsense.
What sort of
But this
food do
part
you
isn't.
have? Is that important?
Not really. I mean, whatever you want, really. I was thinking something that, a small town Vermont would have. So I was thinking like a chicken dinner, but whatever. I'm flexible.
Okay, chicken works. So, my character is going to get up rather pensively, and he's going to go grab some chicken. But I'm going to go out front. I'm going to walk outside.
Oh, I'm going to go and look in that cardboard box over there and see if there are any chips.
I'd take a cue and get some more of everything and another drink, and continue brooding about occult matters.
When you say drink, are you imbibing in the punch?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Anybody else, just for the record?
Yeah, Danny's going to have some.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right.
I'm going to go put a chicken leg on the tree stump and say, I'm sorry we bothered you guys. Go back, then come back right back to the house because I don't want to get knocked in the head.
The one thing you notice when you go outside, Tug, is there seems to be a heavy fog blowing in. It's almost like a mist.
Well, when I see that, I just go quicker. I run out there and I put down the chicken. I say, sorry, and then come back because I don't want to get lost in the fog.
In your step.
Maybe Danny spots you and he's saying, Tug, what are you doing? You're going to attract these crazy monkey mole men things.
And when he says that, I start swerving. I'm like, I'm becoming harder to hit target because I drank a little too much, I think.
Can I just, if this sounds familiar, you guys stop me, but I have a funny nagging feeling that I may have not given you this piece of information towards the beginning because we did things a little out of order. So consider this just as a flashback memory, especially, we'll say, Jerry, you were, talking about the occult and the folklore. So if as I read this, if this all sounds familiar, just stop me. So this is when you were talking to Agnes, the, quote, witch lady on the edge of town. She was relaying a tale to you. Says, when Franklin Cobb and the original settlers were moving toward this valley, they was halted by a group of Indians. It seems the Indians tried to warn the settlers that this was cursed land.
Yeah.
They told... Yeah, does this sound familiar?
Yeah, but keep going because I don't remember it. But I do. It sounds familiar.
Okay, we'll just treat it as like a memory flashback.
Right.
It seems to fit in with what you guys were talking about. They told Franklin that long ago a tribe settled in this valley and the evil spirits wiped them out in a single night. According to their legends, the tribe died the most hideous ways, frozen, burned, or ripped apart. The remains of those massacred were found and buried at the foot of a hill in the valley. But on that evening, the evil spirits took to the air, screaming curses and threats. But the Indian's wise men had powerful magic, and he was able to keep the spirits at bay while his tribe made their escape. Now, I believe there's some truth in it. There ain't no bugs in the valley, no bees, no skeeters. Birds don't fly overhead going south for the winter, and no bear or mountain lion comes down to terrorize us. The only things living in this valley are man and the things that man brings. Do you know that the farmers here don't have to worry about weeds? They won't grow here, at least not the crops. So many things do grow here, though. If we couldn't sell it all in the cities, we'd be drowning in crops and cows. And all this produce coming from thin, rocky soil. Every so often, I wonder why we was granted this bounty. But more than that, I wonder what we're paying for it. So I think I just wanted to, just in case I skipped over that, but it seems to fit with what you guys were saying with the, plus not only that, but your recent discovery of the mound that seems to fit with some of the stories that she was telling you.
Place just gets creepier and creepier.
So we'll say that Lewis has his guitar out. He starts off small, singing some local folk songs, then tries to ramp things up a little bit, get some little more jazz maybe going, and some foot stomping. And I mean, it was Clarissa is there. We'll say Charlie's still kind of upset, so she came down for dinner, but she kind of disappeared back up into her room upstairs, so she's not really very sociable tonight.
Danny's having more of that punch, I think.
Does anyone want some more of these chips?
A little more of this punch, and all the guys are going to be dancing with each other because there's not enough girls here.
Right.
Give me a chip, Jasper.
Yonder in the Chattahoochee.
So I guess let me see.
Punch tastes funny. Has it got lime in it or something? It's kind of making my ears warm.
Lime? What's a lime?
It's
Jasper.
It's like a green little lemon.
It's a green lemon.
Jasper, you just haven't had enough. When you do, the rest of you will be warm as well. Maybe you should try some with your nerve powder.
It's weird. I feel a little bit like singing.
Well, why not? It is a party.
Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
Are we around a fire?
We could start a fire right here on the floor.
There is a fireplace.
I wonder what happened to the old drunk, the old boy that used to live here.
The guy who murdered his wife and stuck her in the garden?
Yeah, let's get the fire going. Since Jeff reminded us there's a fireplace, I'm assuming random NPCs might also be interested in helping get the fire going, which is what Jerry... Jerry tries to get probably Clarissa and some others to get the fire going and sit down by the fire.
We probably got the fire. Cool.
Could I just start by just putting a rolled up, just a bunched up ball of newspaper in the empty fireplace and lighting it just to check that the chimney's clear before we light a fire?
But yeah, don't forget to open the flue because we closed it when the mole people tried to get to us.
Oh, yes. That's a good point as well. Well, at least we know that the mole people will kind of have swept the chimney for us.
So let's talk about what we've seen so far. We've seen a picture of a bat boy. We've seen little mole people who live in the mountain in the forest. We've seen demons that live, hairy demon creature things that live in basements. We've seen monsters on the road that look like, I don't know what, gray loping things. This all sounds like fairy tale stuff.
I didn't realize.
It sounds a lot more like the pre-rational myths behind classical culture.
Do you know what I think happened?
Sorry. What'd you say?
Do you know what I think happened? See, when we were up there, I can't stop thinking about the clearing up there with that window where it was different places we were looking at, and when I threw a stone in there and it went into wherever that was, I think all these things have come out of there.
Maybe this place is a gateway to some other world, or maybe Maybe
Well,
someone's tried to open one.
Jasper sorted that out, I think.
You were saying something, Jasper?
His mouth was full, I think. It was, lots of chips were coming out his mouth when he said something.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Jasper
These
was afraid where you don't
taste
talk
nice.
with your...
That must be the Nerf powder.
Clarissa
Jasper.
seems very upset about the whole thing. She hasn't come out of her room.
Just to clarify, you mean Charlie?
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
Sorry, I've got a couple of cups of this fruit punch. What did you put in the? I look over at Blaine. What did you put in the fruit punch?
It's Joe's special. Joe's the driver.
Joe. Where's Joe? Joe doesn't have to
So
drive.
how about that,
anybody?
Clarissa? Tug's mistaken you for Charisse.
Well, they both start with ch.
That's a very Tug thing to say.
Jerry, can you do a spot hidden, please? And Danny, 2, please.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
I got a pass.
I didn't. Is 90 bad enough to be particularly bad, or just bad?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay.
All right. I'm just trying to sort of
I'm probably paying too much attention by this point to drinks, Clarissa, and the fire.
Yep. And that's kind of what I was getting at was like, people are milling about, people are joking around, there's horseplay, there's things are getting a little drunkerly. Danny, you passed though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say that you noticed that Blaine has come in and out of the house a couple times, and when he comes back in, he smells of smoke, like cigarette smoke.
Mm. I mean, he was really. Danny's just thinking to himself. He was really behaving strange that day, yesterday, when we were out in the garden, or the day before. I can't remember now. Is he in? Is he in just now, Blaine, or is he back out?
Yeah, sure. He's over in the kitchen.
I go over and talk to him because I spoke to him a bit before when I thought he was a bit needing a bit of support or something like that. So I go and start chatting to him and ask how he's getting on and what he thinks of this trip and how he's doing and how's the girl trouble going and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he starts to confide in you a little bit in that it's been more eventful than what he was hoping. He was hoping for a rather boring trip, actually. He didn't want any problems. He didn't want any trouble. The teacher trusted him to head this thing up, and he wanted to do a good job and show that, he could handle the leadership. But with every... sorry, I just saw your message. Yeah, Jerry, yeah, it's loud. People getting loud. People talking above normal. So Blaine continues that, with the whole finding a dead body in the back, and I don't think you guys have really confided in him yet as to what you guys saw, right? That's right.
Yeah.
I think the only Charlie confided in Clarissa. Clarissa. But as far as you know, he doesn't know about any of that yet, and he hasn't mentioned it either. So he's a little bit, there have been some successes on the trip, so he's feeling good about that. But once that dead body was found, it's like that kind of ruined it for him.
Well, I understand. I think you've done a decent job. You've done your best. That's all you can do,
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question, though? See, last time when everything that happened last time? Was there strange things going on? Like weird stuff? Like the mole men, the and other things maybe happening out in the woods.
So you're catching me a little off guard because I do remember. So the very last trip, if you want to call it that, was just the four of them. Well, it was supposed to be the four of them, right? Blaine was supposed to go, but he didn't go. He was the one. He broke his arm the night before, so he ended up not going.
So he doesn't know what went on.
So he doesn't actually know, right? But I think, if memory serves, I think there was an expedition before that, and I think he was there for that. I could be wrong, so but he'll just share with you, like, that was the whole reason. Like, things were discovered from the folklore group, and Daphne especially was the one who headed up the return trip. So there was enough, I guess you would say, strangeness to warrant a return trip, but there were no real details shared at all. So he doesn't really know any. This is like the first he's ever heard of this whole mole man thing.
Okay, so, right. So did I just get this sense that he's just dealing with his kind of inner demons and struggles and, with the death, with the body?
Yeah.
It's just...
He's also maybe had a few drinks too.
Sure.
I'll tell you one thing I've been thinking, and that's, until I came on this field trip, I didn't appreciate how sheltered my upbringing was. I've never heard of any of this.
I think we've all thought that it was just folklore, but some of this turns out to be true. I mean, even in a place like this where there's, it's a state, it's not like a territory or out in the wilderness, but there's still large areas where there's unexplored stuff. And when you encounter stuff out in the woods, it can be weird stuff. And
well, I mean, where I'm from is out of the way, but I mean, the only thing we've got like that, there's stories of a woman who said she saw some flying snakes came over her house in the 1800s, and then just a few stories about like a big hairy man in the woods or something. They're all Indian stories.
Well, like Sasquatch or...
Yeah, they call it Oma.
Yeah, there's lots. We've got lots of those stories in our pockets. Lots of them. But some of them, I guess, are true.
But this, I've never heard of anything like all this. I mean,
what if those monsters?
Look, I mean, for someone to end up dead, like wild animals and freak occurrences and that, freakish natural events. Don't put wires in your head.
Why was that?
People do that. There's a crazy man out here somewhere.
Why was that guy's wife buried in the garden?
Well,
I thought she was like a vampire. Wasn't she a vampire?
Tug, shut up. That's crazy.
Well, but she wasn't in her coffin, and
yeah, it was bones.
Well, she wasn't in her coffin because she was buried in the garden.
He wanted her in the garden.
That's just what people used. That's just what people used to do.
But they keep saying that people are dying of consumption, and there's been stories of vampires going back for literally centuries in this area, and they all seem to die of consumption. The blood goes bad or something.
Well, that's because the corpse of the consumptive resembles the legend of the vampire. That's the connection there, isn't it?
What if that guy who was here yesterday, what if his wife came to suck his blood and killed her and then put her body in the...
You're a loony, Tug.
Oh, hell, we're meant to be having a party and, like, you know...
Yeah, it is...
get away from all this.
Yeah,
Unless-
speaking of getting away, it is awful loud in here if we're going to have any more serious conversation. Why don't we sit back outside where we can at least hear ourselves think?
It's chilly outside. I don't want to go back outside. I wish we'd been outside.
Well,
Besides, I left food out for the mole men, and
Well,
they're
I
probably
haven't,
out there
and,
having a party right now, and they don't want us to bother them.
well, I haven't, and the noise is really getting to me. Come on, so let's go find Blaine outside or something. Plus, I want to show you something interesting.
All right, let's all go.
Yeah, I don't mind going. This music's lousy. You'd think they'd have some Paul Whiteman or something at least.
What can we do with the drunken sailor? What can we do with it?
Can you give me a sense?
Well, in this town, I suppose run aground on the river.
What was that, Jeff?
Give me a sense as to what you think your character, like scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you guys getting?
Ooh.
I've had 3 glasses of punch, and I'll fight you.
I'm still dressed, so I've probably got an 8.
In Jerry's subjective consciousness, not drunk enough. In reality, probably at least a 3.
Danny's probably about a 5 or a 6, and he's now deciding he should go up and chat up Charlie because, you know, kind of, she's the best looking girl here.
No, leave the girl alone. Leave her alone. And if Jasper starts doing this, I start doing it.
Yeah. Little rough horseplay, as they say. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. When I reach 10, the clothes come off.
You might as well, Danny, although you know you did just say that out loud. Maybe get another drink on the way and take her one.
I'm going to put my arm around Tug's shoulders, and I'm going to say, I love you. You're my best friend, you are. You and me,
Mm-hmm.
we're like that.
And I turn around and I look at Higgins and I go, fuck you, Higgins. This is
I guess
my
Jerry
new best
takes this cue to try and redirect Clarissa into whichever direction Blaine is not.
Yeah, so...
Because I know we're all outside, but I know it's chaotic. So,
Yep. She is being polite, but she's not really interested in getting too far away from the rest of the group.
well, that's fine. Does she seem like she? Whoa, your window just froze.
No, we're all fine.
Okay, yeah, because it's my window that froze. So, I just asked Clarissa what she thinks of everything that's been going on around here.
Yeah, so let's see. She's part of the geology group. So I think her and Charlie were kind of palling around, in my mind, for most of the trip. There seemed to be a little bit of, Charlie was sort of, what's the right word? Taking her under her wing almost. Clarissa seemed a little out of her element. But beyond that, you know, she's actually, you know, Charlie confided in her, and so she's going to ask you, like, in a very, like, she doesn't want you to know that Charlie told her, but she's dying to know, you know, was any of that true? And so she's going to ask you a couple questions in return, as far as, like, you know, did anything happen this morning that was, like, strange or out of the ordinary to you guys?
Oh, that's one way of putting it.
Like, how did you even know where to find the girl? Why did you even go into the woods?
Oh, that was just intuition. There's obviously some strange things out there.
So are you sort of denying what Charlie would have told her, or Are you?
You're not telling me what she says Charlie told her, so I don't know what to deny or not. Although, if you're just asking us a general question, Jerry has no reason to deny anything other than that it was Jasper who had the intuition. But if she specifically asks, I probably wouldn't deny that either. It's not so much a desire to take credit as much as a desire not to share. I'm not drunk enough to decide to share Jasper's private weirdness just to make myself seem interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't have any reason to deny the other stuff at this point.
So, okay. Yeah, that's good. So she's sort of just, she doesn't know how to react to all of the weirdness from this morning. The finding the bones buried in the backyard was enough for her. But then to hear about all of the stuff that Charlie told her, she's just like, she's trying to put it all together in her mind.
Is it obvious that Charlie just up and told her everything?
Maybe, I'll just say, maybe she's being somewhat guarded about what she's sharing because she doesn't really want to break Charlie's confidence. But at the same time, she's just dying to know, like, is Charlie absolutely loony or is some of this true? So by you sort of not necessarily confirming, but also not denying.
Does it seem like she knows about the demons?
Like she wouldn't not use that word, but she's just asking about the strangeness in the woods. And,
Okay. I wouldn't either because I don't think they were demons.
All right.
But
okay. And we'll say that in the process of talking, you guys kind of just did a loop around the house.
That's absolutely what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah. And she just kind of like kept walking, and before you kind of realized that you're back with the rest of the group. So she may have led you that, In other words, like you kind of pulled her off to the side, she followed, but then she kept walking and led you back to the rest of the group. So.
Oh, well, that's probably not something Jerry would really resist. He's only half motivated here.
Yep. Okay.
Well, did you all decide if it was a vampire or not?
Decide what?
Let me go back to Danny for a second. Danny,
well, last I remember, you were speculating that those bones are the bones of a vampire. Or was that before Jasper said you was?
That was before. That was before Tug and Jasper were best buddies.
Oh, I see.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I just wanted to, Danny, did you want to follow up with Charlie or?
Yeah, fine. I think it would be natural for him to do that because he was, he'd upset her than. I think it was earlier that day. I'm trying to remember, or the day before when she ran up to the room and stuff. So he wants to check it out, and plus with a few glasses of punch in him, he's kind of doesn't mind talking to the ladies.
Sure. So we'll say you go out, you knock on the door. She responds. She's hesitant. What do you want?
You just wanted to check you're all right, Charlie, and you're just getting away from the noise. And
yeah, that's it exactly. And she'll just tell you that it's been a rough day for her. And it was just, just wasn't really in a party sort of mood. So she was just kind of getting away from a little bit, getting a relax a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. And by the way, do you want to go out on a date sometime?
Man, now you're putting me in Wayne's head, and I'm trying to think, how would Wayne respond to that? I feel like Charlie would.
She's been pretty standoffish, right?
Yeah.
To the guys. So.
I feel like Charlie is probably not impressed that you've had a few drinks.
Yeah.
So she'll probably politely change the subject.
Fair enough. Well, Danny just wants to let her know that he just cares that she's all right, that she's not having a bad time or whatever. And then maybe after a bit goes downstairs again.
Yep. I will say this, that she does seem in better spirits. I mean, so, you know, she's not just sitting up there crying, you know, she's gotten her head together a little bit. The chat that she had, of course, it helped a lot. She's been studying, which centers her mind a little bit. So she's doing much better than what she was this morning.
Yeah, well, Charlie, remember, we're going home tomorrow, so it's going to get better.
And I think Danny is holding on to the fact that she didn't say no.
Yeah. So she she said there was a chance in a million, so that's like one chance. So Danny heads back downstairs.
I think by this point, Jerry has probably gotten a little bit frustrated that this is like half of a party, half of a discussion about vampires and occultism, half of an attempt to put the moves on Clarissa, and probably half of an attempt to get inebriated because everyone's actually drunker than he is, but it's really still quite loud in there to go back for another drink. So Jerry has probably taken to reciting half-remembered snippets of suitably gothic or creepy poetry. Most likely Curly's hymn to Pan. After all, we did see like horned goat men. That sounds pretty legit. So yeah, Jerry's trying to amuse himself and also work up the will to go back into the extremely noisy place and get another drink.
Mm.
You know, oh, sorry, I nearly fell over.
Jasper, you look like you need another drink. Why don't you bring us a couple?
No, I don't think I should have any more. But it's a funny thing, isn't it? Because
that's all right. I'll have them.
I was just listening to the music, and I was thinking, I wonder if it's sound that attracts the mole men things.
Well, if it is funny. Well, if it is, we should be seeing some more of them soon, shouldn't we?
Well, maybe they like the music, and it was just my raspy voice yelling that made them pissed off and threw rocks at me.
Didn't they jump on you out of a tree first?
Oh, yeah.
They stabbed you. They stabbed you, so it must have been,
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Pretty bad voice.
I'm going to go get my chicken back.
Well, maybe you should tell Lewis to sing us the Ballad of Tug and the Mole Men.
Maybe I should shoot some of them if there's any out there before we leave.
No,
kill them off.
I got one. They dragged it off.
No, they're just living out in the forest for 1,000 years.
I still think we should have got one as a specimen to take it back to Arkham.
They're just these guys,
Little hairy guys.
Yeah, just leave them alone.
They're little hairy guys, and they have little hairy lives.
They weren't really very hairy. They were kind of naked and sort of pink.
When Jerry says specimen,
sort of horrible.
He compulsively checks his pocket to be sure he still has the jar of unspecified contents.
Yeah, what do you want to do with that?
Make sure I don't lose it.
Chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it.
I put it...
Drink.
Well, I don't have a drink, so I can't chug it, can I? What? Jasper doesn't seem fit to acquire anymore.
Jerry, you could be king of the mole men.
That didn't come from the mole men. That came from the hut of hell up there in the woods.
Well, I suppose that means I'll have to be the king of hell then, doesn't it?
I'm currently that close to putting my raccoon skin coat on and pretending to be a grizzly bear.
Well, if I'm going to be the king of hell, will one of you archdemons please go inside and get us some more drinks?
Hey, let me play that guitar. I've never played the guitar before. Which I can play a song. He won't let me have the guitar.
No, not really.
He says his great-grandfather gave him that guitar. But I know for a fact his great-grandfather's dead, so how did he give him the guitar?
All right, I'm going to say this. You guys You know,
Yes.
the party tends to shift locations, you know, right? You start off in the kitchen, then you move to the living room, and you moved outside. So now you've kind of lost interest. Now you're back inside.
Yeah,
Then I
we're heading for
definitely
the
Then I get 2 more drinks.
we're heading for the vomitorium soon.
I think Jerry's only going to be at like level 5 here, so I don't know how that happened. He's probably
Look at the state of Jasper.
Yeah, we're bonding.
I can't work out.
Jasper, you should go to your bed.
We can
Let
give you
me
this
ask
Jasper.
Danny and Jerry to do another spell hidden, please.
Success.
Jasper, you're my best friend.
hard success.
Okay. You both notice, you know, the things are happening around you. People are having a good time. But now it's been maybe 20 minutes, and you haven't seen Blaine in a while. You thought he was with you outside.
Well, do I see Clarissa?
Yeah, she's in the house.
Huh.
You thought he was with you outside, and then, you know, you kind of just lost track of him, and it just dawns on you that you haven't seen him in maybe 20 minutes.
What is up with that guy? That Blaine's. I bet he's. Danny, with all the talk about shooting Mulmen, he decides to go and get his pistol because he feels like Blaine's probably out wandering again. Probably just smoking.
Well, I don't care about Jeff. I don't care about Blaine, but do I? Since I made a hard success, do I notice Danny getting his pistol?
Sure. Yeah, I don't think Danny's hiding it. I just
planning to Danny. You planning to pick us off some Mulmen after all?
No, I'm just. I'm going to go and look for Blaine because he's. I'm looking for.
For what for?
Well, I'm gonna. It's pretty misty out there. I'm taking my pistol.
I might be drunk.
All right, let me get my rifle. I'm gonna have to wander around out there by yourself.
Guns and alcohol. Yeah.
I might be drunk. I might be drunk, guys. But look, something's up with Blaine.
I agree. I'm
not so sure. How do we know that he wasn't here last year?
He told me that it was 2 years ago he was here, or 2 visits ago.
Didn't he break his foot or something?
What if he made a deal
with the devils?
Oh my God.
The girl
on his finger. What? A deal with the devil? He made a deal with the devil.
The guy's up in the. No, stop talking that way.
Smoke. He's smoking. Like a cigarette.
Jerry?
Yeah, a cigarette would be good. We should ask Blaine for a cigarette.
Jerry, let's go and find him.
All right. Let me get my rifle. I make sure it's loaded, assuming I'm sober enough to do that. I make sure I still have the ammo.
That's the thing, because you're searching where you left it and you're not finding it. Maybe you didn't put it where you thought you put it?
Where did I think I put it? I try to remember where I think I put it. I normally put it in the kitchen, loaded next to my sleeping area.
If Danny had a spider sense, it would be tingling right now, and he...
I look around. Is everybody else here other than Blaine?
Yes.
The twice that I've spoken to Blaine, he's been really low.
Wait, didn't he run off and disappear and say he was going to get help and then didn't get help and then...
Guys, come on. I don't know.
Hey, Danny. I think maybe Blaine took my rifle.
Let's go. Come on. Jasper and Tug, you can stay here. And
I'm gonna follow you.
I'm kind of afraid.
Entirely certain what it is you're doing, but I'm just sort of going that way because everyone else is.
All right.
We're looking for Blaine. Everybody, let's look for Blaine. Come on,
Jeff. I'm checking my inventory, but as far as I know, I would have at least packed a hunting knife. So I get the hunting knife.
When we head outside, Danny just starts shouting for Blaine.
Blaine! Me too.
Danny's like, what? Tuck, get your act together.
Quit shouting. We won't be able to hear anything out here.
I nearly shot my foot.
Won't see a plane at this time of night.
I'm going to do a Constitution roll. I got a pretty good Constitution, I guess. I almost barfed on that one.
Yeah, you realize that as soon as one of us is actually sick, everyone is going to have to start making Constitution rolls. Then we could literally be stuck here forever doing that. Or at least until we get to the dry heaving stage.
Sorry, Danny, I beat you to it. You can yell now.
I'm sure he would have heard it. Any response out there? Is it quite misty, Jeff?
It's quite misty. It's a little spooky. William and Jason and Harry Higgins, he was like Screw Blaine, you know. Let him wander off, let him do whatever he wants to do. Who cares? You know, we'll figure it out in the morning. But the three of those guys, and Rod, the four of those guys, they head out the front door. You guys didn't say, actually. Did you want to go out the front or the back?
I was
front. Go ahead.
Yeah, out the front door. Yeah,
we're front, Danny.
Okay, so whatever one you guys went out, you went out the front, so they went out the back then.
Okay.
We'll assume Jerry has actually had to catch up a bit because we'll assume the time I just spent sorting through emails looking for my inventory is the time it took Jerry to realize that he forgot his hunting knife because I forgot to put it on the inventory. So Jerry is unarmed.
Okay.
Except for the jar of goo.
Are they also going to look for Blaine?
Yes. Yeah. You know, when you guys brought it up, it's like everybody's now concerned. Everybody's just wondering where he is.
If there's no immediate obvious sight of him, then I would probably think Danny would work his way around to the shed where he was smoking the time before, in case he was round there.
Yep, not a shed, but an outhouse.
An outhouse, sorry. Yeah.
And we're all following right behind because we're like doing the varsity drag.
Right.
Hug. Where are we going?
We're looking for Blaine. Blaine's missing. He fell in the toilet.
Right. Oh, where is he?
I think he went out hunting mole man. He took my rifle.
He's joined the mole men, we think.
He's joined the Mormons.
I think he must be hunting the mole man. Why else did he take my rifle?
What's a Mormon?
He's king of the...
Mormon. You think Blaine's a Mormon?
He's king of the Mormons.
If Blaine is is that why you think he made a deal with the devil?
I don't know.
You know the Mormons. Their prophet. He also dug up some interesting things from the hills, and
it's mole men, guys. Get your act together.
Where?
Everybody do a listen roll, please.
All right. 21. That's good.
Success.
Okay. 2 passes.
Fail.
Yeah, that's fail.
2 fails. Jerry and Tug. You guys are wandering about. You're not able to really see anything, but after, you guys are yelling, so you're kind of listening to hear a response. You're not hearing a response, but you're picking up. It's hard to figure out what that noise is. There's a noise kind of like around you. You can't really pinpoint a direction at this point. It's like a very low, like buzzing.
Jerry listens to the buzzing intently, if he can.
I think my head is buzzing.
Yeah.
It's not your head, Tug.
You can hear the buzzing in my head?
What are you guys talking about?
I think I drank too much.
Jeff, is it obvious it's not in my head?
No, it's not. Maybe it is.
Well,
which of you is making that noise?
If it's in your head, Tug, it's in my head too.
What are you guys talking about?
You can't hear that?
We're hearing noises in our head, but
it's not in your head, Tug.
But don't we always hear noises in our head?
Oh man!
I mean, just my head.
You need to go to bed.
Wait, I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, is the noise? How do I know that the noise I'm hearing is the same as the noise that you're hearing? What are you hearing? I'm hearing like a
buzzing,
but lower, like a sort of.
Danny's shaking his head.
This is turning into just a dirty phone call.
Danny's shaking his head, looking at the ground, thinking, why did we let these guys come?
Anyway, don't you guys hear it now? Do they hear it now?
I still hear it.
Yeah, now that you're trying to listen for something specific like that.
Where is it coming from?
Jasper nailed it, so he must definitely hear it.
Is it like a generator? Does it sound like it's far away or something? Or does
it's hard to pinpoint. 1 minute it sounds like it's over there to your left, and the next minute it's like right in your head.
I try humming along with it. Does that do anything?
I try to do harmonies to his hum.
Right.
I'm going to attempt to syncopate.
If you guys don't stop, I'm going to shoot all of you.
How far have we gone from the house, Jeff?
You tell me. I was assuming you were in the backyard, but you tell me.
Okay, then I'm in. No, I made less progress than anybody, so sure, I'm in the backyard. Does that mean there's still music and cacophony from the house?
Oh no, everybody now is kind of going outside to do this sort of search.
Okay, so yeah, I try to hum with the vibration.
Okay,
we're near the outhouse.
Okay.
Any sign of Blaine? Any sign of Blaine at all around here?
No.
Are the cars here?
Yep.
Is the outhouse humming? Did we look in the outhouse?
You haven't looked, but
I go over and I look in the outhouse, and I look down the hole, and I'm like, Blaine.
Yeah, I think that's going to call for a Constitution roll.
Oh yeah, the stench. 97. Blaine. Fortunately, I threw up into the toilet. So,
right.
Blood.
That was fortunate.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I don't know what we should do, guys, because I don't like this. What this noise is.
Why is Blaine running around and hiding? It's like he's been doing that ever since we got here.
Does anything happen from trying to tune into the humming?
Could you give me a power roll, please?
Hard success.
Hard? All right, I'm going to be mean. You've had a few drinks. I'm going to ask you to roll again and tell me if that's better or worse.
It's 1 percentage point worse. Still a hard success. 31 instead of 30.
All right. I'll say this. Let's see if I can explain this. So you're trying to match it almost. You're trying to hum along with it.
Yeah.
You find yourself sort of concentrating on that and almost obsessing on it. You're focused intently on it.
That's
to the point where to the point where you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you.
That is absolutely accurate.
Okay. So with that being said, let me ask Danny, Jasper, and Tug to do you know what? Not Tug. You're preoccupied at the moment.
Yeah.
Danny and Jasper, could you do a listen roll, please?
A listen roll.
Jasper, I'm going to ask for a penalty die on you, too.
This is my favorite shirt.
Oh, exactly 40 on my listen.
Nice.
Well, I got a 16, and then my penalty dice was 98. So,
Jasper, you're concerned about your buddy in the outhouse.
Your best friend in the world.
Yeah. Are you all right in there?
It's been 30 seconds since you've last seen him, so you're starting to worry.
Tug,
Yeah,
do you need me to hold your hair?
I come out and I'm just like cleaning off my shirt. I'm like, I got sick. Don't go in there.
I'm going to take a step backwards because I can smell that he got sick.
Danny, you hear something. It sounds like somebody threw a clump of dirt on the roof of the house. You know, like somebody like uprooted a potted plant almost, chucked it up in the air, and it hit the roof with like a thump. And the moment you hear it too, I'm also going to say the moment you hear it, it also occurs to you that Charlie's still up in her bedroom by herself.
I don't like this. Guys, let's get in the house quick. Let's get back in.
What?
Why?
What's going on?
Just getting it. There's something on the roof.
What? And I look up there.
I look on the roof.
Is it too misty to see?
It's misty, yep. It's hard to really see anything.
I take a couple steps towards the house and I go, Blaine!
Danny starts running. It just, the whole atmosphere, the mist, the noise, everything. And he was remembering that rhyme or story rather about the, how even the weeds didn't grow there, but what cost. So there's something, I don't know, just playing in the back of his mind. So he's running into the house and heading upstairs.
I'm going to run after Danny, and I'm also I think from this point now that's put me on edge. So I'm looking for anything that I can pick up to
Danny's paranoid.
Not necessarily use as a weapon, but just to comfort myself, basically, so that it knows.
And if I see them suddenly start running, I in terror run after them because I don't know what the hell they're running from.
Yeah, the moment Danny starts running, I'm thinking of the mole men and imagining that perhaps he's heard something that I might need to find a stick or something to defend myself with.
Danny's just saying, get in the house, and he's heading in.
Where are they?
Well, and as I'm rowing as I'm running because
makes you go faster.
When I get close enough to the house to look on the roof, I'd like to try to do that. Can I?
Yeah, so the way I'm picturing the house, I don't have a picture of it. Well, actually, I might have shown you a picture at the beginning, but I don't remember. But we'll just say it's the typical, what do you call it, A-frame house?
Yeah.
A-frame roof. So you get to the back where you can see up, and you don't see anything.
Okay, I just go in the house through the back door.
All right.
yeah, I'm just running because Danny yelled and started running. So,
and there's a little bit of panic now spreading through the group. So the rest of the guys and Clarissa goes running in with you guys. She's afraid. The other guys are, especially Rod. He's sort of like, he's had a few too, and he's not quite sure what's happening, but he's kind of standing there.
Can I still hear the hum?
Yes, you do hear the hum. Danny, when you run into the house, what are you doing now? What's your intent from doing that?
The sense of something, it could be a mole man, it could be something else landing on the roof. So I'm thinking if something's landed on the roof, it could get in. So he's heading straight up the stairs to see where Charlie is. Okay.
I'm going to say that as you start running up the stairs, she's actually on the top step heading down the stairs. And she's got a worried look in her eye. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. We've been there a while, and we know this house quite well by now.
Sure.
I'm Are there any trees overhanging the house, overhanging the roof?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that it's fairly like a clearing. Like when you guys first arrived, there was some tall weeds, grass, like it hasn't been upkept. But the trees are mostly around, like the clearing around the yard.
So there's no chance of something having just dropped from a tree onto the
Right.
Okay.
So Danny, she kind of meets you at the top of the step, and she's got a worried look in her eye, like, what was that? She's looking at you for an answer.
So Danny's catching his breath and he's going, did you hear the noise on the roof?
Yeah.
Was it where your room was, near there?
I think so. I mean, it sounded like it almost was like right above my bed. It scared the heck out of me.
Danny wants to find a torch. I think at the moment he knows she's safe, but it doesn't mean he just got a sense of impending doom, really, with the whole night now. And he tells the guys, Charlie's all right, here she is. Let's get some torches and go and check upstairs.
Okay. How about the rest of you? Are you following upstairs? Are you staying downstairs? What are you?
Yeah, going upstairs.
Well, I had just thrown up, so I've run back in, and now I'm over by the fire, but I'm just like slumping on the ground.
Okay.
Are there any knives in the kitchen, Jeff?
Sure.
Is there a sharp one?
Sure. Yep.
I take one and a flashlight.
Okay.
I'm going to stay with Tug by the fire.
Okay.
Danny's asking Charlie, what did it sound like? Was it just a thud, or was there a noise? Any other noise?
She tells you that she heard it also as a thud, and she confirms that she's also hearing the buzzing.
Is it getting louder?
A little bit.
Oh. I don't like this, Jerry.
Do another listen roll, Danny. The back door's open. Harry Higgins standing in the door, and he's kind of like looking at Rod and the rest of you guys in the house. He's not sure which direction to go in.
Can I still hear the buzzing too?
Mm-hmm.
I failed that listen roll.
Okay.
I just shout over to Rod or whoever is at the door. I say, just get everybody in and just keep an eye out. Maybe there's something out there.
Tug, can you do a power roll for me?
Fail.
Okay. Yeah, that buzzing is like more in your head, and it's just distracting you mostly.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, whatever it is, let's go find it, and maybe we'll get a specimen after all.
Tug and Jasper.
Is there a poker by the fireplace, by the way?
Do a luck roll.
Oh. Else how are we taking care of the fire? With our hands.
Oh, that's a pass.
Yeah.
That's a 59. Okay, I will take the poker.
Nice little iron poker with a little hook on the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were saying Tug and Jeff.
Tug and Jasper, could you each do a spot hidden?
Pass.
Okay.
68. Fail.
Okay.
In fact, that's an extreme.
My head's buzzing.
Yeah, Tug, you're a little bit distracted. Jasper, you look at Harold Higgins in the doorway, and you're about to call everybody in. And sort of as you're looking past Harold Higgins, you're looking outside, and you're seeing Rod standing there in the mist still. He's kind of outlined a little bit. And suddenly you see him just rise up in the air.
I'm going to look around and see if anyone else saw it.
No.
Harold's probably looking at you going, what are you looking at me for?
What? He just disappeared. Something just pulled him up.
What are you talking about?
He was out there and something just pulled him up.
Ooh.
I've forgotten his name.
Rod.
Is there a window in the stair landing, Jeff?
Not really. Well, okay, yeah. So I think, Danny, where are you? Are you downstairs now, or are you still upstairs?
I'm guessing kind of halfway in the stairs, because when Charlie met Charlie there, and maybe she's coming down.
Okay.
So probably if there's a window there, the quickest thing would be to just kind of go up and have a look outside.
And I was following Danny upstairs, so I guess I'd be doing the same thing.
And if for a moment I can control Higgins, he wants to know what you're talking about, so he's going to turn around and take a step out and look up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who else was.
I know. If anything comes near us, don't. I'll just hit it. I'll hit it as
Oh
hard
my
as I can.
God.
I'll do it with the poker.
Danny and Jerry, you both are sort of coming down the stairs at this point. And as you're doing that, you suddenly hear...
Wait, down the stairs?
Yeah, I'm going to say, you walked around upstairs, you didn't really see
Oh,
or
we
hear
didn't see
anything.
anything. Okay,
Right.
so we're headed back down.
Well, I figure you're going to head down, see what the commotion's about.
Yep.
And as you're coming down the stairs, you suddenly hear Blaine's voice, and he's from the front yard, and he's like, guys, come out here. There's a cat on the roof. Somebody help me get the cat.
What?
Wait, Blaine, do you see Rod out there?
He's outside, so you're going to have to either shout that or...
Yeah, I shot.
Well,
Okay.
He's on the other side of the house, isn't he?
He's in the front of the house, correct.
And
And-
Rod disappeared from the back?
Right. And the front door's closed, so it's like you really, you're going to have to shout in order to get through the door.
Okay, sorry. Blaine, just one more time, Jeff. So Blaine opens the front door.
No,
No.
he just yelled. He's just yelling. You guys just overheard
he
it.
yells through the door.
There's Blaine.
So I do exactly what I said, though, Jeff. I shout, do you see Rod out there?
He responds. He says, "No, no, I don't.
See anything out there except a cat?
Just a cat. Just just a cat on the roof."
Jerry,
You have my rifle?
Jerry, quit yelling. Go talk to him, for Christ's sake.
Blaine, is Sally out there with you?
Jasper, don't yell at him, too.
Well, by this point, Jeff, I am approaching the front door, although I am not opening it, and I say, do you have my rifle?
No.
Open the door, Jerry. Danny's got his pistol out.
Understanding that, which way does the door open, Jeff? Out or in?
We'll say it goes in.
Okay. And where's Danny positioned?
Danny's Danny just is suspicious of anything and everything right now, and he wants to see where he is, what he's doing.
I just want to know where you're standing.
Directly in front of the door.
Then in that case, I motion and point to you to stand somewhere such that when I open the door, you wouldn't be facing him head on, but rather you'd be at an angle where you would still have a decent shot.
Okay, I shift over a bit.
And
don't shoot Blaine.
Hesitate and let's see. And open the door enough that Danny would still have a shot if necessary, and also position myself behind the door that I'm opening.
As
One
Jerry's
of those mole things, it's getting the hook end, I tell you.
As Jerry's doing all this, I'm saying to them, anybody that's nearby, that's not a cat on the roof. I heard the thud. So the door opens, I guess.
Heavy, didn't it? It wasn't.
Yeah, I'm opening it part of the way. Quickly, not gradually, but I'm not opening it all the way. I'm opening it enough that you could see and shoot if necessary.
Okay. Just a quick question. Ken, have you ever heard a cat hit the roof?
No.
I have. It's incredibly loud.
Was it a hot tin roof?
It was not.
I've heard a cat in a hot tin roof.
Can I just can we just? I'm just going to go for just a second and go put this poker down because I realised I picked it up and it's a great prop, but it's also completely covered in soot, so I can't actually put it down at any point. So I'm stuck holding it now. So,
Okay.
The thing is, a cat hitting a roof would be fine if there was somewhere the cat could jump from to land on the roof.
Yes. Good point. All right. Sorry to break that tension. Jerry, you start to open the front door. Danny, you're poised and ready to shoot. I take it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still sitting on the floor recovering.
Yep.
My head's back.
Tug, you look out the back door. You see Harry still standing in the doorway, and I'm going to say...
Harry, Blaine's in the front yard.
And with that, Harry will come in. I'm going to say, who do we have left? We have Louis, William, Jason, Terrence. William and Jason are still outside just outside the back door. Louis and Terrence are in the house with you guys. They're standing behind you, Danny. So you open the door, and Danny, the first thing you see is actually nothing. It's dark. It's misty.
I shine the torch out.
You get that sort of beam of lightsaber effect going. It's not really illuminating very well.
I say to Jerry, suddenly I don't trust Blaine. This is all wrong. This is wrong. Something's wrong. I shout on him.
And Blaine yells back, and he actually calls for William and Jason. And he's like, guys, come out here. Just help me get the cat off the roof.
Blaine, you come in here.
Well, the cat's not in there. The cat's out here.
Who cares about the cat? Get in here.
Fuck the cat.
Jason and William or Bill.
Wait, whoa. Jason and William are just like randomly approaching the door now?
Yeah, they're like right behind you. They're standing right behind you.
I just give them a really hostile look and motion them to go back.
Okay. They sort of like shrug their shoulders.
Like, don't go.
So something feels screwy about this.
Shouting Blaine again. Blaine, get over here.
Yeah, what? Blaine, why are you hiding?
I'm like, Blaine is just drunk. He's drunk and he cares about a stupid.
Yeah, you can't let a drunk guy go up on the roof after a cat, can you?
Well, go get him and bring him in.
I'm not going out there.
Tug, if it's a cat, where did it come from? Another portal?
It's just,
I want to go out the door.
it might be a bird and he thinks it's a cat because he's drunk.
Danny's beginning to kind of creep out a little bit.
Just don't shoot Blaine.
He's not going right outside, but he's just he feels like this is all some kind of ambush or something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a dick, but you don't have to shoot him.
I'm kind of imagining Charlie right now in the middle of the room, maybe beginning to lose it a bit, you know?
Yeah. Yep, it's all coming back to her now. Her and Clarissa are huddled.
And the buzzing continues?
Yeah.
Is it louder?
It's a little bit louder in your head.
Trying to like get Danny's attention and look confused as to why he's like going out there by himself, but I'm not trying to like say that because I don't want to alert anything outside that he's going out there by himself. So
no, I'm not heading right out though. I'm just kind of creeping. I'm trying to get a view around either side.
As soon as I realize that, I just like hold still.
Wait a second. Yeah. Where is Rod?
Could you do a hidden
Rod?
Doug?
Say that again.
Rod went up.
Maybe he went to get the cat.
No, something grabbed him and Like he just I saw his feet go up.
Tud's
Something
right.
grabbed. I'm trying to tell you that something grabbed him. Why does no one believe me?
All right, Jeff.
There's something going on out there.
Butt in.
13.
Didn't imagine it.
As drunk as I am.
Jasper's talking about Rod going up, and you turn to look out the back door, and you don't see Harry, and you don't see Terrence.
Well, I'm going to start to get up at least, and I'm like, Harry. And I walk to the back door, and I look out, and I'm like, Harry. Where did Harry go? Jasper, you said that the Rod got...
It was like something, I didn't see anything, but it was like something just kind of, like a crane just at the fairground, just picked him up and pulled him up.
The vampires are on the roof. And they're eating people.
Danny shouts out the front door, Blaine, if you don't get over here, I'm going to start shooting.
No response.
We need silver. We need garlic. Is there garlic in the kitchen? I'm going to run into the kitchen.
I'm going to start looking for an axe.
Danny,
yeah.
Danny, do another listen roll for me, please. I'm gonna ask for a luck roll for the garlic.
Oh, okay.
Total fail in the listen.
How much luck do I have before I actually roll?
Can I push the listen?
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled another 13. I guess 13 is my lucky number. I got a 60 in luck. So
Yeah, sure. You find a handful of garlic, please use it to cook dinner with.
I run out to the guys and I go, garlic. We got to use garlic because they're vampires. Maybe they're vampires. I don't know if they're vampires.
It's the 1930s. So I react to garlic as a white person in the 1930s would react to garlic. And I go, oh, God, that stinks. Take it away.
It's magic. It keeps vampires away.
Oh, no.
All right, Jasper's going to be food for the vampires. Danny, you take.
Yeah.
Jerry, you take some. And I'm going to give some to the girls some.
I failed to push, Jeff.
Okay.
But Danny's pushing out a little bit. He just says to Jerry, just watch me. And he's kind of peering up to the roof, if he can, as he kind of just a few 2 or 3 steps out from the door.
I try and circle back around the door so I'm not trapped behind the door if I do need to get out there and help him. But I certainly don't want to spend any more time in the view of the opening to the door than I need to. So I'll try and get around probably to where Danny was before.
I'm going to run forward and I'm going to grab Danny's by the back of the shirt and yank it back inside. And I'm like, don't you remember the folklore? They can't come inside unless you invite them in.
I've got a pistol in my hand, you clown.
That pistol won't hurt a vampire unless you got silver bullets.
You got a pistol, you're scared, you're staring off into the foggy mist, and someone grabs you from behind suddenly. I'm going to ask you to do a luck roll, and if you fail, you're going to shoot your gun.
Sure. That makes sense. I passed it. Fine.
Okay.
So you almost shoot your gun.
Almost.
Dude.
Damn it, Tug. You know most of that's superstition and most of the rest is lies. That's not how any of it works.
Oh, now it's superstition. Look at what's happening.
I would suggest, Jeff, that because of everything at the moment, he probably squeezed the trigger, maybe let off a shot.
Sure. Okay, if you want.
It was up there. It was up there anyway.
Yeah.
So that woke everybody up.
You hear a vampire go, blah, blah, you hit me.
You hear a voice saying, that is one bullet. Yeah.
Oh, the handguns in the night. What a terrible bloody noise they make.
All right, so I've pulled it back in, and I'm really serious.
All right.
Dan?
When he shoots, Jerry startles and actually goes to take a quick look out the door himself.
We should probably all do a quick sanity roll.
Yeah, let's do a quick sanity roll.
Yeah, I failed that one.
Do I have to take any type of penalty on this? Due to this
No, just do a regular sand.
I failed it. What do we do for a fail?
I'll say for a fail, 1d4. Pass would be 1 or 2.
Is double zeros really good or really bad?
That's 4 points.
I have
It's what,
luckily
Jeff?
passed.
So that would be minus 4 points.
For double zeros?
Yep, you take the
Okay.
That's
max
the worst
sanity.
you can do.
And what is the? Is there any special context for the loss of sanity, or is
It
it
means
just
that you
general
scream at the
experience?
top of your lungs and shake all over and almost piss your pants, but you don't lose your.
You don't lose your cool.
It's the worst. It's
All
the worst you can get before you lose your control of yourself.
Okay, I see. So yeah, Jerry is basically just now swearing at Danny, halfway to the door, looking around with great aggravation.
Yep. Jasper just dropped the fire poker.
Yeah, I think the shock of it, I've just slightly become sort of noticeably more sober.
Yeah. Okay. Danny and Jerry, can you each do a spot hidden?
I'll
Pass.
spend 1, 2, 3, 4. I spend 4 luck and make it.
Um,
Assuming
Yeah,
that's
I'm-
allowed. Can I?
Yeah, well, let me do this. Let me tell Danny what he sees, and then if you feel like you want to see it too, I'll let you decide.
Oh,
Danny.
thank you. That's nice.
Danny, just as Tug grabs you by the shirt and pulls you back in, off to your left, you thought you saw like a dark figure in the mist sort of go around the side of the house.
Like a person, ground level.
Maybe.
I think that's Blaine out there. Danny shoves Tug back and heads out.
Jeff, if I spend the luck, will I have an opportunity to reasonably decide whether I think it's Blaine, or in other words, can I
you would
see?
you would have just seen the same thing, so it would still be up to you whether or not.
Okay, then I'm gonna spend the luck.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, you just grab Danny. If he's is he trying to rush out of the house? Is that what you said, Danny?
Yeah.
So I grab you and I say, you don't know that's Blaine.
Well, it's something, and I'm going to shoot it.
I'm going to pick up the poker.
Well, then I guess I'm coming with you. So I head out there with him.
And Jason and Bill are looking at each other, and as you guys are sort of doing all this, you realize they're getting ready to head out the back door. They're like, we're going to go out the back. We're going to, head them
No,
up.
no. Stay in the house. Stay in the house. Don't go out. Don't go out there.
Tug, are you not a footballer? Can tackle them.
No, I'm a rower. Rod is the footballer. Where's Rod?
I told you, Rod got taken by the thing.
And now he's a vampire. Oh no!
He
Vampire. It's a crane.
He's a
Danny?
crane.
No, there's some sort of like this.
Danny,
Mm.
I'm going to say you're sort of first. Jerry, you said you were following him, right?
Yeah.
Danny, you go out the front door, you look to the left where you saw that sort of shadowy figure kind of run. You're pursuing it, right? You're looking for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You kind of get to, it's not that far. It's only like maybe 3 or 4 steps till you get to the corner of the house. But as you're kind of like turning the corner, you're hesitantly kind of looking around because you don't know what quite to expect. And you look, and the best way I can explain it is that it's just dark. Like the mist It just sort of fades into dark black night.
So it's like the house completely isolated.
That particular area, especially. In other words, you know, you've got your flashlight, your torch, you're panning around with it, looking, and the light just sort of like just gets eaten up by the darkness.
Let me know when I see this too.
Yeah, just a split second later, you see it.
Okay.
It's like, Jerry, keep your eyes up and forward.
As soon as Jerry sees the weird darkness, now I have no idea how likely it is that Jerry would actually remember what to say, or if this drunk, or if it even matters if he remembers. But he's going to do his best to remember something he read from some book about something you say to like banish bad stuff, and just reflexively shout at the darkness.
Shout at the darkness. Isn't that the name of the song?
Well, or the devil, but Jerry doesn't really believe in the devil, so I'll stick with shouting at the darkness.
Yeah. Okay, you yell.
Probably
nothing.
some mangled, half-remembered Greek. That's probably what it is.
I'm not going to make you roll, but I'm going to say that after you yell, you know, everyone's kind of looking at you like, what was that all about? And you hear, it sounds almost like a groan. Like a person's voice, like moaning, like
Emanating from that area?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Then Jerry does his best to authoritatively command it to reveal and identify yourself.
It's quiet.
Is it still darkness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Danny and Jerry, can you do a power roll for me, please? Jasper, you turn around, you look, and you don't see, I'm losing track. You don't see William and Jason anymore. They wandered out the back door.
I am going to go back to the fireplace and with my back firmly against the wall, I am just going to sort of crouch, hunker down, and wait. I'm not going anywhere right now.
I'm doing the same now. I'm getting right down there with Jasper, my new best friend, and I'm making sure he has garlic in his hands. I say, I know it smells, but you just got to carry it.
Is the fire still burning?
It's like smoldering. Nobody was really paying too much attention to it.
I'm going to put some more
Wood on it.
Wood on the fire. Build it up again. Get it going.
Danny, did you pass your power roll?
I failed it.
Fail. Okay.
I passed.
You passed, Jerry. Danny, you have a sense. Well, let me do this instead. Jerry, you're sort of like, you're waiting for Danny to do something because he's in front of you. He's the one that's got the gun. And he's just kind of like standing there. He's just like aiming into the darkness. He's not really doing anything.
If I heard it groan, but it doesn't respond to the attempt to be authoritative, I think by this point, and I just remembered, I failed a sanity check, losing 4 points and rolled double zeros.
Yeah.
You can be sure that Jerry is like fully on his way to his own flavor of true belief or superstition, and so Jerry does his best to sincerely command, in the name of the one true Lord of the world, reveal yourself, and does his best to make a proper gesture, which I doubt he gets right, considering the fact that he started believing this stuff is real about like a few days ago, but he does his best.
You hear, so I probably didn't describe this at the beginning, but I don't think it's that important, but so the way I'm picturing the front of the house, like it's kind of like a concrete patio almost, and then there's like a slight 6 to 8 feet roof, like a porch roof almost.
Yeah.
So not the proper roof of the house, but like the little roof over the porch area.
And are we still under that?
That's what I'm assuming is like you kind of like creeped out the front door or on that porch. You turned the corner, didn't actually go around the corner, but just looked. So I'm going to say that on this porch roof, you hear that same thud noise above you. And now you're 100% sure that that buzzing noise is coming from right above your head. It's not in your head anymore.
But the darkness didn't respond at all.
I'm sorry, you cut
It's
off
still dark. The darkness is still just darkness sitting there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I look up and say, come down where we can see you.
Is Danny aware of the thud?
No, you're sort of just staring into the darkness.
I can hear you well enough. Get down here in front of me and take a decent form.
I'll let you do another power roll, Danny, see if you can snap out of it. Tug, what are you doing?
I'm sitting next to Jasper holding his hand.
By the fireplace?
Yeah.
Yep.
That almost sounds romantic.
Yeah, well.
It is quite
I'll
nice.
smack him if he kisses me. But
we really could do the bearskin rug.
In a different setting. This could be a different role.
well, he's got his
romantic horror.
Yeah, I don't have anything except I've reached over and I grabbed a log.
Okay.
That's not a log, mate.
Holy smoke! Sorry.
There's no need to apologize, really.
It might not be a log, but it is definitely wood.
my question, Jeff, is can you push a power roll?
Oh, good question.
Because I just got a 96.
Ooh. I'm going to say no because it's not a skill.
Okay.
Feel free to correct me later on. But
no, it's fine. It's fine.
And with that, I'm actually going to say your knees get wobbly. And I'm going to ask you to do a constitution roll to see if you can remain standing.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah. So there's just a little, your kind of knees kind of wobble and you kind of jolt.
I kind of almost imagine there's a kind of tension going on and then there's maybe a bit of the shakes, and it's like he's fixed in that moment and maybe Jerry might notice he's
Does Jerry notice or is Jerry too distracted?
Jerry's yelling up into the sky.
Yeah.
But Danny is right next to you. So I'm going to say you do see movement. So you see him kind of wobble. So it's up to you how you want to react.
I'll try and steady him, but I'll reach out to take the pistol.
Can you shoot a pistol, Jerry?
Of course. I take the pistol. And then, now that I have something to gesture with that I feel moderately less ridiculous, I point the pistol up and repeat the instruction to come down before me and take a pleasing shape. Reveal yourself.
Is Danny aware of any of this at all?
No, not really. It's all just sort of like.
Could he be just saying repeatedly, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it?
You think you're saying it, but you're not. Jerry.
If I have to, I'll draw a pentagram in the air with the pistol if it comes to it. But
the roof, you're under the porch roof, right? So you're looking up at the bottom of the roof.
Right, but he wants it to come down where, off the roof in front of him.
Right. So there's the very edge of the roof, right? So you can see the edge of the roof.
Yeah.
And you see a sort of shiny black, maybe that big around, sort of looks like a wet tree branch come around, and it kind of goes underneath, and it's hooking around, and then you see another one hook around the same thing, and they're like little tiny like nippers or claws.
What kind of claws?
Like
crab claws or
crab
insect
claws.
claws or what?
Yeah, insect is a better idea. Like you know how an insect's got that little hook sometimes.
All right.
In his imagination,
Now-
Danny's still saying, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it.
Now I think at this point, now does this seem entirely physical? Like basically, it's just like a insectoid tentacle monster. Like, is there anything about this to suggest to Jerry that it's some kind of apparition?
It seems to you very, very real.
Then I presumably snap out of my moment of occult enthusiasm and shoot it through the roof if I can actually see it. Right? If I can see where it is, I shoot it through the roof.
Mm-hmm. All right. How many shots? One?
One.
Okay. Roll your firearm skill.
Also, do I have to roll to overcome any resistance to shooting it because it's loud?
Not yet.
Okay, that's part of why I was procrastinating actually shooting it. But so just roll a normal firearms. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you have.
Well, this is a handgun, so it's a different.
Right.
All right.
Slightly different.
Well, hold on. Yes, I made it.
Okay.
Success.
Just a regular though, right? Regular pass.
Just a regular success.
Okay. With that, I'm going to say that loud noise right next to you, Danny, snaps you out of your. So what do you want to do real quick?
Well, I think he probably flinches and ducks almost because, the thing's just gone off right next to him. And I guess he kind of ducks underneath the canopy a little bit more, seeing as Jerry's shooting whatever it is.
Yep. The girls in the house both scream at the loud noise.
Tug and Jasper both scream, probably.
Right.
So how do the insect tentacles react when I shoot it through the roof?
They retreat from the view, so you don't see it anymore.
All right. I shoot again.
Okay.
If I can.
Sure. Roll, please.
I'm not sure. I assume I can't miss the roof, but this was a miss, so I guess I shoot through the roof to no effect.
Yep.
And then I probably don't really want to be shooting through the roof anymore. But
okay.
So I stop.
All right.
I think at that point, if nothing else happens, Jeff, Danny will be saying, "Give me the gun, give me the gun."
I give him the gun.
Okay.
And he'll move out from the canopy, kind of further back out to see if he can see anything on the roof.
Okay.
I look back toward the darkness. Is it still darkness?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's sort of it shimmers. It sort of shimmers. It's almost like there's something like it was black water almost, and something disrupted it, and it kind of like wavers.
Does it remind me of the shimmer effect of the portal?
A little bit, yeah.
I think maybe it went back.
All right, so Danny, tell me again. You're sort of backing out.
So I'm coming out to get a view if there's anything still on top of the roof, and if there is,
Danny, wait.
I'm going to let it rip.
Hold up there. I saw a shimmer in the black. I think maybe it went back there. Maybe it's another one of those portals. Maybe you don't need to go out there.
I'm still doing it because if it's sitting on that roof, I want to shoot it. And if I can't see it, I'll point the gun over to where Jerry's suggesting.
Jerry?
I'm getting ready to throw my knife at anything that tries to get Danny, because that's all I have.
You might have your chance because the tension's building with Danny. He's realizing he doesn't know quite what to expect, so he's backing out cautiously. And as he's getting closer and closer to see just over that ledge of the roof, you see behind him by about 10 feet away, something dark, elongated, sort of drops out of the sky almost silently. And now it's standing behind Danny. There's a bit of chaos in the house too, where
does it look as physical as the insect thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's still there's some bit of mist still obscuring the view now, but yeah.
I throw the knife at it.
Okay.
And I shout at it, be gone from here. And I assume that it'll be obvious to Danny that there's something behind him. So I'm focusing all my attention on it, not on talking to Danny. And what is it for throwing a knife? Throw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do not do a critical fail here. I don't want impaled.
Yeah, you're throwing it right past Danny there.
Well, it's a hell of a way to spend so much luck. But is this a legitimate use of push?
Well, this would be one of the ones where I would let you push it. Wait, combat.
Is combat you can't push in combat?
It's spend luck. I don't remember if you can push it. I think you can. Can you?
Well, if you fail, then it's disastrous results.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say. So you can push it, but if you fail, you're probably going to hit Danny.
Spend the luck.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the luck then. And that's going to... Well, anyway, yeah, I spend the luck. Okay. I hit it.
All right. Roll damage.
What does the knife do?
I think it's 1d6.
1d4 plus 2 plus damage bonus. If you have any damage bonus.
So, 6.
Nice. All right. There's still a bit of chaos in the house. Clarissa and Lewis, they're hearing all this going on the outside. They're hearing the gunshots, and instinctively they're moving towards the back door. Looks like they might be getting ready to run.
Do I notice anything from my 6 points of damage on a black thing?
Not really, no.
So I don't even know that I did damage.
Right.
What do I see happen? Does the knife stick in it? Does it vanish into the darkness? What happens?
It's dark and misty, and you're not even sure.
Oh, so I can't actually see the knife.
Correct.
Okay. Did I hear anything?
You heard the thunk.
Okay.
So you're pretty sure you hit it.
But it doesn't react.
But you don't hear any obvious reaction.
All right. Shoot it, Danny. It's behind you.
Okay, so I gather you'd want to do anything else in the house, Jeff, or should I carry on?
I just wanted to give Jasper and Tug a chance to. You guys want to do anything?
I'm having heard the commotion outside. I'm going to start creeping, sort of nearer to the door, very cautiously to try and get a view and see what's happening outside.
Towards the front door?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm creeping with him.
Okay.
But I'm looking from time to time. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm looking over my shoulder a lot.
Right. Because the back door is open, isn't it?
Back door's open, and that's what you can see. Like Lewis and Clarissa are looking at each other, like they don't know what to do, and they're this close to getting ready to run.
Well, I look at him.
I'm just even with my back against the wall, I'm still worried that something's going to come up behind me. So
yeah.
Can we close that back door? I'm going to get up and go close the back door.
Okay.
Oh, that was not a very good. Okay. I'm not going to close the back door. I'm going to think about closing the back door and then change my mind.
No, I was just trying to think how would Lewis.
WD-40. Well, no, you need oil. Sorry, WD-40 isn't a lubricant. It's a.
I was just trying to imagine how Clarissa. I mean, they're like, you can see they're contemplating getting ready to run, and now you're sort of jumping ahead of them and cutting off their only exit. So I'm trying to picture how they would react to that.
Okay. Don't go outside. We're safe in here with the vampires can't get to us.
And Clarissa.
I don't think they want to come into the light.
Clarissa starts like yelling at you pretty much. What do you mean we're safe? We're not safe. We're not safe.
Far, whatever it is that's outside stays outside. It doesn't come inside.
No, listen. I've worked it out. They don't come into the light.
They're going to come in. It's just a matter of time.
They won't. They're only taking people outside when they go in the dark. So if we stay in the light, we're fine.
How many of us are left in the house? Is it just those two and us two?
Yep. And Charlie.
Okay.
Right. When the firewood runs out, I'm going to start burning the furniture because that's clearly the light is going to save us, and you're all fools if you don't understand that.
And yet, the firelight's kind of flickering flames is giving everything the shadows. It's a weird. It's messing with your eyes. Danny, what are you doing again?
So Danny would have probably followed the knife flying, turned around
past your ear. Yeah.
Yeah, turned around with the gun in his hand. Does he see the shape or whatever this is?
Yep. It's fairly tall, maybe about 7 feet tall.
He's just like, bang, bang, bang.
Okay. 3 shots?
Yeah, do 3 shots.
And I believe Jerry's shot 2 so far, so that's going to leave you with 1 left, right?
Yes.
Okay. Roll all 3 with the penalty die.
Okay. Here goes. First one's a fail. Oh no. Second one is a fail. And last bullet. Thank goodness both of them were a success. So, okay. Yeah. In fact, let me see. Both of them were a hard success.
Hard, okay. Yeah, hard is just a regular damage roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 1d10. Plus 2. 4.
4. You hear the buzzing noise increase in both whatever that is. It's making that noise. It's also in your head too at the same time.
Right.
And it starts to leave. It starts the same thing. It's sort of just like rises up.
If I can follow the shadow of it, if I've got 1 bullet left, I'll just let it loose.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a penalty die, though.
Yeah, I'll go for it anyway.
All right.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Both are practically the same. Both are success.
Okay. Damage?
10.
Yeah, it sort of just goes into the mist.
I think Danny's just exhausted.
For the moment, you have a few seconds, moments. Anything anybody wants to do?
Is anything else changed outside? Is the darkness the same?
You hear a noise coming from the dark area to the left, and it's Blaine. And he says, "Come help me with the cat."
Somebody kill him.
I'm gonna select a nice useful looking piece of firewood, and I'm gonna stick just one end of it into the fire and the other end resting over the grate, where it could be grabbed relatively easy if it was needed as a torch or something.
Okay.
So
or something.
I call back out to Blaine. Blaine, no one's fooled here. If you are Blaine, so either tell us what this is all about, or shut up. Any response?
No response.
I think did Danny go back in the house?
I don't think so. I think he's still outside.
No, I'm still there.
Okay.
Could I roll luck and see if I've got any bullets left on me?
Yeah, do a luck roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do a 1d6.
3.
You got 3 bullets in your pocket.
So I'm getting the bullets and I'm putting them in the chamber.
All right. Jerry, are you still outside too, right?
Yeah, and then I say, "Or bring me back my shotgun, you degenerate."
That's
Jerry?
I guess it's a rifle, right? Bring me back my rifle, you degenerate.
5 points of disdain damage.
Jerry and Danny, could you each do a listen roll, please?
Oh, total fail.
Yeah, that's a 90, so that's a fail.
Okay. All right, there's a moment of quiet. It's a little eerie. Why is it so quiet?
No more buzzing then.
You still hear the buzzing.
Oh.
I didn't mean that quiet.
Is it fainter?
Yeah, a little bit maybe.
What does this darkness or shadow look like? Did you say it was kind of liquidy or something like that?
Yeah, it was just only that during that moment where it sort of shimmered that it looked a little bit like liquid, but then that sort of now it just looks like darkness again.
How big is the area of darkness?
Maybe about 10 feet high or so, give or take. Like it kind of just fades off into the night sky, so it's hard to tell exactly.
Okay.
But left to right, it's maybe about 10, 15 feet maybe.
Does it reach the ground?
Yep.
Jerry, throw something in there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I look down. Is there any like random debris on the porch?
Luck roll.
There should be pieces of
double zeros.
Yeah, you're looking around. You don't see anything. It might be there. You just can't see it. You're kind of frazzled right now.
Double zeros. He picks up his journal and throws it out there.
You do have a jar of goop.
No.
Come back inside. Come back inside. We're safe in here.
Don't I even have any paper in my pockets?
Yeah, you got my pictures.
Right, yeah.
You could write a note and throw it.
So double zeros don't compel me to have something bad happen, or they kind of do?
I mean, they do, but I'm not going to do something bad for just a luck roll to find something.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll treat the double zero as a determination to find something that clearly isn't there. So I'm like determined that there's got to be something there. So I'm just looking and looking and looking.
Okay.
Because I can't believe there's nothing on the porch to throw off the porch. So
there's Danny. Yeah, get your asses back inside.
There's one of those portals out here. It's all black. I want to throw something in it. Why can't? Maybe can you find something to throw?
I can throw a bullet.
I pick up a log and I walk over to him. Here you go.
Thanks. I throw it at the darkness.
Yep. It goes through the darkness, and then you don't really see it anymore.
I look over at Danny. Well,
I think we should just hide inside and stay in here and keep the fire going. And
Danny,
I think if there's any furniture, we should maybe use it as a barricade. So that if anything comes in, it's at least got a...
Well, Tug, I can tell you it's not vampires unless vampires have tendrils with chitinous claws on the end.
vampires can turn into whatever they want to turn into. It was
Danny,
a giant
Fair
bat.
enough.
Danny, you hear something coming towards you. Something's running towards you.
Like footsteps.
Yeah.
I'm
Where?
backing up with a pistol in front of me.
Did you reload yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to make sure.
I was already, after I checked for the 3, I was reloading then, so I don't know if I got all 3 bullets in or not. Jeff, what do you think?
So maybe I'll say you get like 2 in and then you hear this. So luck roll for the 3rd, I'm going to ask.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to get out of the way of wherever I think he might have to shoot.
I failed the luck roll, so I just flipped the chamber closed.
Yep.
And back up.
He didn't tell you, Jerry, that you heard anything. You're still looking for something.
I heard Danny say footsteps.
Danny, you look and sort of like out of the darkness, out of the mist, this figure sort of emerges quickly because he's been running. And at the last second, you realize it's a person.
I'm expecting, what's his name?
Blaine?
Blaine and his cat.
Yeah, it's not. It takes you a split second to realize who it is, and suddenly you see it's the deputy, and he's got his pistol out too. And he sees you pointing your gun at him.
All right, well, I just dropped my hand down. And just start saying, help us, help us.
And he starts yelling, what's going on? What's going on? Why are you shooting? Who's in trouble?
There's something out there.
Can he see the darkness if we point at it? Do you see that?
Something grabbed our friends.
Yep. So he like, you guys are throwing a lot of it at him. You know, do you see the darkness? Did someone grab their friends? So he's a little bit confused right now, but he's like, clearly he's on high alert at this point.
Roll psychology to see if he's faking it.
Okay.
Yep. I failed.
Yep.
So I believe he's startled.
Yeah, he's got his gun out. He's looking like he's ready for action.
Yeah. Do you see that out there?
He looks. Ooh, he does not see what you're talking about.
There's a dark area.
And he just yells at you guys. He says, "Follow me, follow me."
Where's he going?
Where?
No, we can't go out of there, out of the house.
I'm not leaving the fire. I'm not leaving my fire.
Where's the sheriff going?
Warm and it's light.
John, where do you want us to follow you?
Back to the car. Back to the car. We're gonna get out of here.
Do you have an?
Our friends are inside.
Yeah.
We'll grab them. Let's go.
Jasper, maybe we should run to the car.
I'm not going out in the dark.
How many of us could we all get in the car? Is there enough space to get everybody in the car, or is there too many?
I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bring the car up to the porch.
There's probably 7.
Do you have enough room for everybody?
Yes, go. Run. We'll squeeze in.
Right, everybody, come on.
How far is it?
Jasper, come on.
Can we see the
John,
car?
how far is the car?
You can't quite tell. I mean,
I'm asking him how far is it?
Bring the car.
It's at the end of the driveway.
Bring it up to the porch. There's vampires.
I'm going to start running.
All right.
I'm going to start running then, but the moment I get outside, I'm just going to start flailing around above me with the standing with the poker, just in case there's anything up there, like giant bats or something.
Me too.
That's what it
Come
is.
on, Charlie.
I'm carrying a log over my head.
Bats. Thunder. It could be a thunderbird.
It could be a giant fly for all we know. It's all buzzing.
Yeah, it could be. Oh my god, it could be a whole.
All right, let's run.
Swarm of insects or something.
Jerry, I didn't hear anything from you. You're running too?
If everyone's running, I'm running. Yeah.
Yep. Danny?
I'm not the first, but I'm not going to be the last either.
Once Charlie's out in part of the group, he's got the pistol and he's running with her.
Yep.
With the pistol up in the air.
Yeah. So the sheriff's kind of like, waving you on, like, go, come on, go, 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 and gets everybody out of the house. He's running up behind you. You're running towards the car. You can't really see it yet, but you've been up and down the driveway 100 times already, so you know where you're running to. It's just dark. And after a few seconds, it feels like much longer, you see the sheriff's car sitting there in the driveway.
Phew.
Quick, get in.
Yep.
Go.
The sheriff comes running along. He jumps in the front seat, jumps in the car.
Is it the sheriff or the deputy?
I'm sorry, the deputy, yes.
Okay.
Can I take a quick look back to see if it's possible to see anything weird, like on the house or around?
Do a
I
spot
can't resist
hidden.
an attempt to look back.
Do a spot hidden.
I'm going to look.
99.
I got a 2.
Oof.
So I'm like this in the back window.
I guess that 99 means I'm probably last to get to the car.
Yep. I'll count that. What I'll say with your O2 tug is that you see 3 or 4 dark shapes up on the roof. Can't make out what they are, but they're moving about, sort of like teetering almost.
Okay.
But with that O2, you might already guess this, but you see that Clarissa and Lewis was the last 2 running, and as they're running, something comes down, grabs them, and lifts them up into the air, into the darkness.
Could I see a shape?
Same sort of shape. It's the same sort of elongated, maybe big, maybe like 7 feet tall.
It got him. I start screaming. I'm going to do a sanity roll. 27. Probably pass. Yeah, I've still got 27. I passed, but I'm going to take...
Danny just took 2 points as well, because it's just all hitting him now, and his knees are bouncing up and down, he's shaking.
Yep. And you guys sort of just piled in the car, so everything's sort of discombobulated, and people and pile on top of each other. You guys get in the car, the sheriff starts the car starts okay. He floors it in reverse, sort of does a half spin out, takes off down the driveway and down the road. Once he gets a fair distance away, he starts asking you what all happened.
Well, it's probably obviously we're drunk, but I go on and on about vampires, and
Danny's just saying there's monsters here.
Had tentacles and claws. It was on the roof. It came out of the darkness.
all of our friends are gone.
And he's taking this all in as he's driving. It's like, well, he says, we'll go down to the station. We'll get sorted out. We'll have, we'll everybody relax, and maybe we can figure out what the heck just happened. If need be, I'll make a few phone calls because it's late now. It's like midnight at least. He says, if need be, I'll make some phone calls and we'll get some guys and we'll go back and we'll figure out what the heck's going on.
Danny, I think Danny blurts out, "Are you kidding me? You must know there's something going on here."
Don't go in the dark. Wait until the morning.
Yeah, he doesn't really respond. He's just like listening at this point,
Yeah. Danny's just letting the frustration out.
Yeah. All right. So after maybe 5-10 minutes, it's not that long of a drive. You make your way into the main town. He pulls up outside of the jail. The lights on. Looks like the sheriff might be there already. Gets everybody out of the car. Walks in.
The moment I get out of the car, I'm going to start looking up at all the roofs of the buildings.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Same thing.
Do spot hidden if you want.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a natural instinct.
Sure.
Okay.
I did
I've
not.
confused myself now. That's a 10. Yeah.
Failed.
Sorry, I rolled a 10. For a moment, I thought a 0 and a 10 was 100.
But I would like to push this because I've already established a pattern of being obsessive about trying to find stuff even when I can't find it. I was already last to the car. I probably am developing a disregard for my own safety given my fascination with these hard things. So of course I'm pushing the roll.
Yep.
But the second roll was even worse than the first.
Okay.
Significantly, it was an 81. I was only off by 4 points the first time, but I didn't want to waste luck looking on roofs.
Yeah. So I think, Jasper, you're the only one that passed, I think, right? Yeah, your mind's playing tricks on you at this point, but you think you did see something kind of fly by in the night sky.
I'm not even going to mention it. I'm just going to immediately start looking around instead.
So the deputy comes up to the door. He opens the front door, and he's waiting for y'all to come in.
I'm going to run into the building as fast as I possibly can.
Turn on all the lights.
Oh yeah, the sheriff's already in there, so the lights are on. Yeah.
I'd probably stop and show my flashlight at a couple of roofs. And
I'm going to run in and start immediately. Just run up to the sheriff and ask him if he's got an emergency generator. Has it got fuel in it? When was the last time you checked it?
Right.
Danny, what did you do with your gun during that car trip?
It was in my hand kind of the whole time. It's empty though. I've got one bullet left in my pocket.
Okay. So the deputy's going to come to you first and say, he just holds his hand out and you're like, can you hand that over, son?
Just say it's empty and give him it.
Okay.
And then I say I want to go home.
And he looks at Jasper. Do you still have the fire poker in your hand?
I do, yes.
And he kind of looks at you like, do you mind putting the fire poker down? Let's all relax. Take a deep breath here.
I'll lean it on the wall next to where I'm sitting. I'm kind of assuming I'm sitting next to the wall. There's a wall near the chair somewhere. If not, then a table.
I'm not thinking you even had time to sit yet. I'm thinking this is all as you're coming in the door.
Right. I'll just drop it.
And the rest is kind of going to unfold. So let me do a little narration here, if you don't mind. Once you're sort of disarmed, it's not like, you were ready to do battle with the sheriff or anything, but the deputy's attitude flips 100%. He goes from what you thought he was rescuing you, he starts barking orders at you. And he's like, right, get up against the wall, one at a time, get in the jail cell. You're going to sleep this whole thing off. And he's ushering you into the jail cell. The sheriff's looking at this whole thing like, what the heck's going on? He's not happy. He doesn't like being disturbed this late at night. He's on edge. He's clearly watching the deputy like, what's going on.
Are they both armed?
Hang on.
Yeah, Jeff, are they both armed?
Oh, yeah.
What about our phone calls? We get a phone call.
Yeah.
I think he's just putting us in here to keep us safe from the vampires.
Shut up.
I don't know, Tug. I don't want to be locked up, Tug.
Danny's just starts screaming, our friends are missing, they've been taken. They're gone. You guys need to get up there and check it out.
Yep. We'll get right on that. For now, you guys, you're clearly drunk. You gotta sleep this thing off. Get in the tank. Get in the drunk.
I just walk into the jail cell and pull the door closed.
I'm gonna look at the deputy. I mean, not just look at the deputy. I'm going to, and I'm hoping I can get away with this because I'm drunk. But I'm gonna properly, like, I'd like to make a spot hidden roll and properly inspect the deputy. So really peer at him and look at him quite closely. You know, in a very drunken way. But that is what I'd like to do nonetheless.
Well, you could do that without a spot hidden, unless there's something you're trying to find. Are you searching or just trying to intimidate?
Well, I mean, does he look like he's... is he acting normally? Does he look like he's
an alien?
That's a psychology roll, but he...
Yeah, okay, yeah, it would be a psychology roll.
Is there something wrong with him? Like, does he have a head stitched on? Or
No, I mean, is he like glassy-eyed, or does he look like he's what a 19-year-old would imagine someone who was hypnotized looked like, which is probably doing that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Okay. I have a feeling that is not a success. No, that's not. That's a fail.
He seems normal, except for the fact that it seems like he just flipped to be somewhat aggressive.
Jeff, I'm not really sure how this is going to play out or where we are in the series. I haven't said I've gone into the cell yet. I'm obviously lingering. How distracted is the deputy when this whole exchange happens?
Yeah, he's not distracted at all. He's
not distracted at all. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm not like trying to jump him or anything, but is everyone in the cell other than Jasper right now?
I'm gonna say yes. He's
okay.
You know,
so I don't wait any longer to say this, but obviously I try to seem as sober as possible, and I look at him and the sheriff and I say, "You two are either fools or you're in on it. You both know full well we would have to be a lot drunker than this to see monsters and our friends hauled into the woods. Now, I'm not getting in any cell when whatever's going on in this town is going on. So, you either are going to have to murder me, beat me senseless, or you're going to listen to what we're saying."
So the way I'm picturing the deputy is he's listening to you say this, and he's like, "You fools, you think we're just out here?" You think...
Yeah,
and he's going to grab your wrist and quickly like bring it up round back behind your back. You know, what do they call it? Full Nelson or something. And he's going to usher you into the jail.
Well, when he does, I realize that I presumably don't have combat training like a deputy, or maybe I do. This is some totally small town in Vermont. I have a brawl of 25. I'm prepared. I realize that the penalty die might be considerable, but I also don't know how drunk I still am, right, compared to what I was before. And I was the least drunk of anybody, even though I wanted to be otherwise. So my whole intention here was that if he tries to manhandle me, I'm gonna try to take his gun if I can.
Oh, goodbye.
Hey, I'm not. Well, you know. If deputies just shoot drunk college students, you know, that's cool. That's what backup characters are for.
Yep. Pretty sure that's what 1930s cops actually did. Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
He said it.
But he might also just overpower me and throw me in the cell. So either way, Jerry fully believes that like we might not survive this. in the cell. So
let's see what the uncaring universe has in store for you. Give me a dice roll. Penalty.
You said penalty?
Yep.
What is it, though? Am I correct? It's a brawl, or is it something else?
Yeah, we'll say fighting brawl. Yep.
That is a hard success.
That's with the penalty?
Oh, wait. I think I reversed it. Hold on. I have to... No, it's not a hard success, but it's about to be a success, though. Let me see here. I had to spend some luck, but it's a success.
Okay.
Can you spend luck on that?
Well, just for the heck of it, I'm going to ask you to do a dex roll, too. Can you tell me what you get for your dex roll?
I figured a desk roll might be involved.
I should have done that first, but I didn't think of it quick enough, so...
Well, that's not going to turn out so well.
Okay.
Because even though I have a dex of 55, I failed.
Yeah.
Rolled a 90.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say happens. So, Jerry, you fight back. You try to resist. You go for his gun. He's well aware of you trying something fishy like this. He's ready for it. He reacts quickly. And in the scuffle, you just manage to just accidentally backhand him on the chin. So just do a brawl damage.
What is it?
So I think it's 1d3 plus damage bonus.
As this fight breaks out, I'm sort of switching into what I think we might describe as oh shit mode, and just sort of quietly walking into the cell behind this. Yeah, I'm not going to make an issue out of this because obviously, I'm going to get beaten up if I do that.
I'm already asleep in the corner.
Danny's in the cell looking miserable.
Yeah.
I look over at Jasper and I say, "Your first time?"
Look, when we get to the pen, right, we need to like get friendly with Mr. Big, who's in with the warders.
You know why they call him Mr. Big?
Have you got any snout?
Did you do any damage, Jerry? 2? Okay.
I get made him mad.
Yeah, he's angry. He was a little bit angry before that, though. All right, so what's going to happen? So he gets you all in the jail cell, closes the door, kind of leaves you everybody alone. Tempers calm down. Things quiet down. The sheriff and the deputy are talking quietly. You can't really hear what they're talking about. And you're basically in for the night. The next morning, you guys are awoken by voices in the jail, and you see the sheriff and the deputy, and you see your college professor come through the front door. I'm not going to look up his name, but it's the professor that sent you on the field trip. You guys have got massive hangovers. Might even still be a little bit drunk. The professor just is like angry as anything. He can't believe he got woken up in the middle of the night, had to drive down here just to get you guys. There's a lot of talk between the sheriff and the professor professor's like sort of pleading and gesturing, and eventually the sheriff and the professor comes up behind him, and they come up to you and still in the jail cell. And he's like, look, we're going to release you to the care of the professor, and he's taking you back to town, back, to Arkham.
Thank you very much, sir.
And he looks at you all like one at a time. He's like, is there anyone who has a problem with that?
No,
Right.
sir.
So that's exactly what happens. The professor puts you in his car, and he's angry. He's driving to the nearest larger town, which I think is, I want to say Brattleboro. And there's a train station there. And he's like, look, I'm going to put you on the train. You guys go back to school. And as soon as I get the others, we'll have a talk about what all happened. He will ask you in the car, though, what happened? He's just looking for an explanation.
Well, I'm prepared to tell him what happened, with the exception of the bit about John Jeffrey.
Well, I start probably babbling about vampires.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody survived.
I try to tell him everything as rationally sounding as possible without changing it and leaving stuff out. But I don't use words like demons, vampires, mole man. I try to present this in a scientific sounding way, but I show him the child drawing stuff. I show him the jar, and I tell him that I don't know how much he listens or how much I have time for, but I certainly want to give him the impression that I am fully convinced that people in the town know very well that there's some very weird things in this place.
The only thing that Danny would add to all of that would be that there's students that are missing, that have been taken, and the police are doing nothing about it. It's happened before when there's been other trips here. Things have happened, and we've lost students. So
I tell him also when Danny says that, I tell him about the deputy's bizarre behavior, right? Because on reflection, it's obvious that the deputy knew enough that we were afraid of something to get us to believe we were rushing to safety in his car, and then handled us this way in the jail. So
I posit that he was acting that way once we were in front of the sheriff, because when he was just with us, the sheriff wasn't around. He was one of us. He was a kid. But in front of the sheriff, he had to impress the sheriff and act like a sheriff.
Well, that just means he knows the sheriff knows what's going on.
I think Blaine was in on it.
I think Blaine was in on
because
it.
he was trying to call us out for those things.
We don't even know if that was really Blaine.
Well, I think at this point probably on the train we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
Now that is the professor coming? He's going back.
Right. So here's what I'm going to do. So he's going to
go back to that house.
Is that Professor Roger Harold, or is it
yes,
Learmouth?
I believe it's Harold.
Okay.
Does he let me keep the jar, or does he try to take it?
You can definitely keep it. He has no interest in the jar.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to so he's listening to your stories, and this all is, taking place during the car ride. Doesn't really change his mind. He's still set on his decision. He takes you to the train station, get your tickets, get you situated, puts you on the train, and, warns you, he's like, no more funny business. He does tell you, though, just before you leave, that he has already seen and talked to both Blaine, William, and Jason.
What?
So he doesn't. He thinks basically what they said is that you all just got drunk and had a good old time.
what about Clarissa? Did she not go missing?
He doesn't mention her.
Were they playing some elaborate practical joke on us? I mean, we started it. I started it with Higgins.
Was it Blaine that provided the alcohol?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's in on it.
He drugged us. Well, when I see him next Monday, I'm gonna kick his ass.
Hey, there was. You mean
think-
there was alcohol in the punch? Is that why it tasted funny?
Yeah.
Is that why I started feeling weird?
I don't think that's the way drugs work, Tug.
I don't remember most of that. I think, Jasper, you tried to kiss me. I remember sitting by the fire next to
I can't
you.
believe I drank booze.
Are you guys still the best
My
friends?
mum and pop are going to be so upset if they find out about that.
Is that where we call it?
Yep.
All right. That was an amazing and wild trip. Our players included Mick Swan. Sorry, I've still got Wayne in here. I hope Wayne comes back at some point. But our players included Mick Swan, George Sieg, Ken Trench, and myself, with Jeff Wilkins as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production. In order to create a richer listener experience, we provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You'll find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good game.